My name is Alex Esau, and my lightning talk presentation is titled Staff Supervision and Training in School Libraries. For today's agenda, I will be discussing the need to establish roles and duties of library staff members, their credentials and training staff members must receive or improve upon, as well as the best methods for the administration to supervise employees to match standard library policies. Furthermore, I will present current and future opportunities for expanded responsibilities and expectations in order to facilitate changing student and faculty needs. First, let's identify the three crucial elements of the academic library faculty, shall we? We have the library paraprofessional. The duties and responsibilities are often wearing many hats depending on department needs. You have pages, aides, circulation assistants, materials assistants, technical assistants, media specialists. The list goes on, and all these positions can be part-time, full-time, or volunteer. They see the ground level day-to-day operations, and they know their colleagues and patrons' needs very well. Their tasks are often routine, which include assisting librarians, monitoring students, checking materials in and out, preparing overdue lists, shelving materials, organization, assisting with inventory, scheduling, and technology, processing materials, and assisting teachers and students in the location of materials. Next, we shall discuss the school librarian and their duties and responsibilities. Often a part-time or full-time position, their requirements include an MLS or MLIS degree or in a similar field from an accredited academic institution, as well as possessing an educational licensure and an extensive background in serving communities through library or information services. They can often share skills and experience gained from different library functions, and their duties and responsibilities can change. Adapting to these changes is especially essential. They usually serve 5 roles in their school, starting with leader. They build relationships with organizations and stakeholders to develop an effective school library program, advocating for student learning and networking with other professionals through participation in local, state, and national organizations. Next, they serve as instructional partners. They collaborate with classroom teachers in designing, implementing, and evaluating instruction, as well as with instructional staff in preparing and delivering lessons, promoting information resources and information literacy. Next, they serve as information specialists. They function as the information leader within the school. They gather and disseminate professional development materials, especially those most closely aligned with building level and district-wide goals, and they serve as the staff resource on issues such as copyright and intellectual freedom. They also serve as teachers. They help students develop attitudes, habits, and skills that will enable them to become lifelong readers and learners, provide group and individual instruction in information literacy skills, including digital and media literacy, research strategies, and the use of resources. They actively promote reading and library use through such activities as storytelling, book talks, displays, etc. And they update instructional and library-related professional skills through attending conferences and participating in continuing education opportunities. Finally, they serve as program administrators. They establish yearly and long-term goals for the library media program aligned with the library's mission, goals, and objectives. They administer the library program, developing policies and procedures to assure efficient operation and services. They also select, purchase, and process new materials to assure a current and balanced collection representing diverse points of view in accordance with the district materials selection policy. They also conduct an annual survey as a means of evaluating the library program and its services, and to provide a forum for faculty and student input and suggestions. They also prepare and administer the library budget and participate in curriculum development on building and district levels. Finally, we shall discuss the district library supervisor and their duties and responsibilities. Oftentimes a full-time position, they are in charge of decision-making tasks, seeing the big picture, traveling to many departments or sections of the library, and they have similar functioning roles as a school librarian with notable differences in authority and implementation. First, they serve as leaders. They seek innovative teaching methods and new instructional technologies. They apply data-driven research for the development of short and long-term plans to advocate for effective school library programs, and they provide the framework for using state and national organization guidelines in implementing the objectives of a visionary school library program for their district. They also serve as administrators. They formulate, oversee, and administer a progressive school library program based on a collaboratively developed action plan directed by the district's mission statement, goals, and objectives. They are in charge of establishing budget administration, district school library policies and procedures, print and digital collection development resource challenges, as well as copyright and ethical issues. They develop job descriptions, recruiting school library personnel and providing for their professional development, and are involved in specifications for remodeling and the new construction of school libraries. As a communicator, they convey information by acting as a liaison to school librarians, teachers, administrators, parents, and students. They provide data pertaining to school libraries as required to district, state, or national agencies, and they serve as an advocate for school library programs, representing the district to government, private agencies, businesses, and professional organizations. They also serve as teachers, developing, coordinating, and modeling best practices and providing professional development while collaborating with district curriculum supervisors. They serve as a partner with the entire educational community to support student achievement goals and objectives, and they work in tandem with key educational personnel to provide professional development that enhances teaching and learning. Finally, they serve as facilitators. They can coordinate and orchestrate the operation of a school library program that encompasses all aspects of instructional resources, and they bring together all key stakeholders to facilitate these changes. With all the roles in the school library established, let's look at a real-life scenario dissecting the tasks and responsibilities of a school library supervisor. In a survey from the University of South Florida in Tampa, 336 participants ranging from library supervisors to principals were asked to identify the expected engagement of a supervisor's duties and responsibilities as compared to the perceived engagement they witness in their routines. The largest difference in percentage was from library supervisors themselves, who seemed to expect completing many tasks greatly, but failed to perceive engagement of these tasks equally, with an offset of 32.1%. What does this all mean? In observing tasks expected of a library supervisor, the three largest differences in engagement were for the following areas: providing facilities, organizing for instruction, and developing curriculum. These three facets of a library supervisor's job responsibilities are often seen as belonging to either teachers and administrative members, whereas other tasks might be seen as rightfully assigned, but perhaps not understanding or witnessing these tasks firsthand. Ideally, all tasks should be firmly established within and between library departments. This dissonance in task engagement seems to stem from potential factors in poor, unclear, or overlooked supervision. These can include unclear job titles or responsibilities. If your division of labor and tasks are unspecified, the chain of command or hierarchy will not be respected. There's a lack of on-site training and feedback. This can lead to unqualified or uneducated faculty members, further leading to burnout and quick turnover if not addressed. There could also be a narrow perception of librarians versus paraprofessionals, often with blurred lines separating duties of specialized, certified librarian versus the skilled, trained paraprofessional. In certain circumstances, school libraries with limited budgets or student populations opt to only hire certified librarians to operate their libraries with no paraprofessionals, or vice versa with the staff of all paraprofessionals and no librarians. Whatever the faculty structure your school library has or will have, it is paramount for supervisors within your organization to adhere to these policies and procedures while facilitating tasks and the delegation of responsibilities to address student and faculty needs. In order to prevent these hindrances, here are some recommendations for current and future school supervisors, librarians, and paraprofessionals. You should create a separation of do's and shoulds in your tasks lists, separating what is done every day versus what you intend to do on your should list. Establish the expectations of paraprofessionals, usually seen as advancement through seniority and learning as you go, versus the expectations of supervisors, which is gaining experience in supervisory skills and working with other departments. Advocating for increased professional development, training, and funding for current and new employees. Checking for outdated procedures and policies in keeping with your library's mission statement, values, and objectives. And not taking paraprofessionals and underlying faculty for granted by establishing skills, strengths, and weaknesses right off the bat. In the past year, this global pandemic has significantly impacted school libraries, especially as students and faculty were forced to work from home and reassess library operations, programming, and services. As more vaccinations get administered, safety protocols adapt, and access to information improves, it is our job as future library supervisors to maintain connections with our staff, students, and stakeholders through our everyday actions, while cementing the duties and responsibilities of all library personnel to facilitate a cohesive library environment. As information specialists, we all love our students and faculty, so here's hoping that more and more school libraries can match these standards in the coming months and years with this global crisis behind us. Here is a copy of my references page. Thank you so much for listening to this lightning talk.